Over the years, have found ways to keep myself motivated, so I'm going to share them with you, and hopefully you find them as helpful as I have. Hey, Walter here, doing what I can to make comics easier because it shouldn't be overwhelming or daunting to tell your story. I make videos about making comics and artwork, so if that's something you're into, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget, hit that like button as well. So keeping yourself motivated is really hard when it comes to creating. Time, self-doubt, fear all work against motivation, and sometimes just sheer determination and desire is not enough to keep you going. We have to be a little bit more clever. I use tricks, incentives, deadlines, and schedule to help keep me motivated. These have got me through some really dark times and kept me drawing and productive. Tricks would involve me giving myself very small goals, but with huge rewards. Like on days that I had zero motivation, I would tell myself, okay, just go draw for 5 minutes and then you can take the rest of the day off. I could go watch a movie or take a nap or play video games with zero guilt. And I found that like once I got to the drawing table, once I drew for that 5 minutes, I didn't want to stop. I would draw for 30 minutes, I would draw for 2 hours, I would draw for the rest of the day. The hardest part with that motivation and creating is to get over that initial hurdle of starting. Starting is the hard thing. So these tricks were a way to get me past that initial hurdle. I had this one time I was doing my first graphic novel, and the entire time I was doing the graphic novel, I wanted to stop. So I told myself that if I would finish this graphic novel, then I didn't have to draw ever again. But I had to finish this graphic novel because I told people I was going to do this graphic novel. I had already started this graphic novel. Let's just finish it, and then I never have to draw again. Of course, I did continue drawing. I did finish the graphic novel, and I kept going for over a decade and making more and more graphic novels. Now, this might not be the healthiest way to keep yourself motivated, but it does work in a crunch, and it is a quick way to get yourself drawing or writing or whatever you're creating. But I did want to start finding more positive ways to motivate myself, and that's where incentives come in. You want to find something that you can only do while you're creating as a way to get interest in creating. So for me, it was audiobooks. I would listen to audiobooks, and I would only let myself listen to those audiobooks when I was drawing. So if I wanted to find out if the princess was able to kill the dragon, I had to go draw, and that got me excited, and eventually that excitement was tied into drawing. And so when I thought about drawing, there was excitement there versus dread and all that stuff. Now for me, I personally recommend audiobooks versus movies or music because I think movies and music are very distracting. Even if you've seen a movie 1,000 times, you still have your favorite scene, and you're gonna stop and you're gonna watch that scene, and that could be for 10 minutes, it could be for 15 minutes, or if you're listening to music, you might be like, I'm not really in the mood for this album, what am I in the mood for? And then you start looking through music, and then you start going down these rabbit holes. But with an audiobook, you have about 10 hours of entertainment. Some of them are 16 hours of entertainment, so you can just put that same audiobook on for a few days, maybe a week, depending on how often you draw. And so it keeps you engaged that entire time. And the other reason I think audiobooks are good too, because audiobooks are going to engage the part of your brain that I think your fear monster lives. Like that voice in the back of your head that's telling you that you're no good, that art doesn't doesn't look great, that hand is so wonky, you're never going to be a professional artist. That part of your brain is listening to that story. It's distracted. It can't whisper in your ear. So that's why I'm a huge fan of audiobooks. Now, of course, audiobooks only really work for when I'm drawing. Now, when I'm writing, I can't really listen to audiobooks because I'm using that part of my brain for writing. So I can't do both at the same time. So it's a matter of finding something that you like, something that makes you feel good, and only being able to do it while you're creating. And that's another reason why I don't think movies or music are good, because you watch movies and listen to music all the time. even when you're not drawing. And so for this incentive thing to work, you would have to never watch movies or listen to music unless you were drawing. And so some other things could be like, maybe you only get your cup of coffee once you start writing, or you only get a snack if you're writing. But be careful, because my incentive was energy drinks and candy, and this just wasn't great for my health. I would end up feeling like crap when I started going through the sugar withdrawals. So the incentive is going to be personal to everyone. I really suggest trying the audiobooks or even podcast as a way to start. Even if you think it won't work for you, I'd say give it a chance, but like, it's going to be different for everybody. So find something that you can do while you're being creative, something that you can enjoy while you're being creative. Maybe you go draw outside and you only go outside. That would make you a shut-in, but whatever it is, find something that excites you, that you can do while drawing. It's really important that it is happening while you're drawing or writing, so that you can start having that positivity start aligning with drawing. So when you think of drawing, you think of that positivity. The next thing are deadlines. I think deadlines are great because not only it is a way to make sure that you are staying on track, it's also a great way to track yourself and make sure that you're going in a positive direction, that you are getting things done on time. Because if you need to get this stuff done by next month, you need to do this many pages, you need to draw this many things, you need to get all of these things done by that time. And so you can keep track of your progress. Now, I know a lot of people say they have a hard time holding themselves accountable to self-imposed deadlines, but it's something that you can do, is try to make those deadlines more outwardly opposed. Like, let's say if you want to get your book done in time for a convention, and that convention is 5 months away, and you already paid for your table. Now that is a deadline that you really have to meet if you want that convention to be worthwhile. Otherwise, you're going to show up without a book and you're not going to have anything to sell, and you just wasted all the money that you spent on that table. So find ways to make those deadlines actually matter to you, so that you have a reason to get them done. The other thing that I like about deadlines is it starts pushing you towards professionalism. And if you want to do art full time, you have to treat it like a job. You have to be professional about it. And if you're doing a job, you have to get things done in a certain amount of time. So those deadlines are going to prepare you to be a full-time artist doing art or writing as a job. Speaking about professionalism, the last thing is work schedule. If you think about having a day job or going to school, most people don't want to do that, but they drag themselves out of bed because they know Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, they have to go to their day job, and that's just how it works. So you want to do the same thing with your creativity. You say, for whatever works for you, like if it's Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., you're going to draw. That's when you draw. There's no other option. That's like going to your job or going to school. You can't just not show up. Yeah, you can call in sick every once in a while, and maybe that's good to take a mental health day, but most of the times you have to go to work. Most of the times now you have to do your art or you have to do your writing. So you start treating it like a job, to where you have no choice but to do it. And some people might say like, oh, I can only draw when I have a muse. If you want to do art full time, you can't wait around for that muse. You have to get the work done. And maybe some days the muse is there, maybe some days the muse isn't there, but the work itself still needs to get done. And maybe it's not always the best, but it's done, and that's what's really important, because you need something to show. Hopefully that's going to help with keeping you motivated, and if you think it does or it did, make sure you hit that like button. And if you have any ways that you keep yourself motivated, please let us know in the comments so that we can try to implement it ourselves. And if you would like to support these videos, consider checking out some of my graphic novels to see what I'm all about. The links are down below. And if you want to keep making comics easier, be sure to like, link, love, hug, and hit that sub button for more sweet, sweet goodness. Catch you in the next video. Peace.